Today we will discuss some important MCQ for the biochemistry NEET preparation. So first one, that is a drug which prevents uric acid synthesis by inhibiting enzyme xanthine oxidase. So basically uric acid, that is the end product of the purine nitrogenous base adenine and guanine, and it is synthesized with the help of this xanthine oxidase. But in gout, uric acid level is increased, so as a treatment point this xanthine oxidase inhibition is very useful. So which drug is utilized to inhibit this xanthine oxidase? Aspirin, allopurinol, colchicine or probenecid. So aspirin is basically NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, but it is not utilized to inhibit this xanthine oxidase. Allopurinol, that is utilized as a example of suicide inhibition. It is also explained in the biochemistry. Colchicine is basically anti-inflammatory, that is also used in a gout but not inhibiting xanthine oxidase. Probenecid, that is also uricose uric drug, that is increased uric acid excretion but not inhibiting xanthine oxidase. So right answer, that is allopurinol, that is inhibiting xanthine oxidase, and that is one kind of suicidal inhibition. Now next question, that is oxidation of which substance in the body yields the most calorie? So whether it is glucose, glycogen, protein or lipid. Basically glucose and glycogen both are the carbohydrate, and protein, so basically carbohydrate and protein, that is giving around 4 kilocalorie per gram utilization of that molecule, but lipid, that is providing around 9 kilocalorie. So highest calorie we can get from the lipid. So right answer, that is a D, lipid. One more question, that is which of the following is required for the crystallization and storage of the hormone insulin? Insulin is the most important, and it is also given in a diabetes mellitus. So which particular molecule is needed? So manganese, magnesium, calcium or zinc. So you have to remember that zinc is needed for crystallization and storage of the hormone insulin. So right answer, that is D, zinc. Further, one more question, which of the following is located in the mitochondria? Mitochondria is the most important cell organelle. So which of the following is located? Cytochrome oxidase, that is important part of the particular electron transport chain, so it is present inside the mitochondria. Yes. Succinate dehydrogenase, it is important enzyme of the TCA cycle, so it is also present in mitochondria. Now dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase, now this enzyme, that is a part of the alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase enzyme. So basically that alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, that is important enzyme of the TCA cycle. It is basically a multi-enzyme complex. It is made up of 3 enzyme and 5 coenzyme, but here you have to remember it is part of this TCA cycle, so it is present inside the mitochondria. Yes. So all of these, that is the correct answer. So D, all of these are present inside the mitochondria. Now next question, the surface tension in intestinal lumen between fat droplets and aqueous medium is decreased by. So which molecule is needed to reduce surface tension? Bile salt, bile acid, concentrated H2SO4, sulfuric acid or acetic acid? Simple, bile salt is needed to reduce surface tension, that you have to remember. It is basically helping to reduce surface tension basically for the emulsification process as well as for the reducing surface tension in the lungs also. So basically right answer to reduce surface tension, that is simple, bile salts. Now further, sodium potassium pump is inhibited by digoxin, aspirin, valinomycin or dicomarol. Digoxin is the right answer. Aspirin, it is already a NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. Valinomycin, that is one kind of channel former, and dicomarol, that is antagonist of the particular vitamin K. So that is also we have seen in a competitive inhibition. So it is structurally similar to the vitamin K. So it will work as a vitamin K, but it will reduce or decrease the activity of the vitamin K. So it is working as an anticoagulant. So it is not an inhibitor of the sodium potassium pump. So right answer is A, digoxin. Further, the pH of blood is 7.4 when the ratio between H2CO3 and NaHCO3 is. So you have to know that ratio, but simple, that 7.4 pH, that is normal blood pH, and during that time the most important buffer, that is bicarbonate buffer, and is the most important to maintain our that pH 7.4. So what about the ratio, whether it is 1 gem 10, 1 gem 20, 1 gem 25 or 1 gem 30? So right answer, that is 1 gem 20. So bicarbonate buffer in the ratio of 1 gem 20 to maintain our blood pH 7.4. So right answer is B, 1 gem 20. Now next MCQ, that is the average pH of urine is. So what about the normal urine pH? So whether it is neutral, acidic, basic or 7.4. So basically neutral pH, that is called as 7. acidic that is less than 7, basic more than 7, and 7.4 that is our normal blood pH. But normal urine pH is not in neutral, it is mostly acidic. So right answer is B, acidic. So normally urine pH that is acidic, but there is a one sentence that is called alkaline tide, means after taking of meat due to secretion of acid in the stomach, that urine become alkaline. So that is just after taking of meal, the first urine after taking of meal, that is generally alkaline in nature, or otherwise we can say basic. But normally that urine that is acidic in nature. So right answer that is B, acidic. Now next question is, exchange of material take place only by diffusion, only by active transport, only by pinocytosis, or all of this? So it is not only by diffusion, active transport, or pinocytosis. The exchange of material take by either active or passive transport. So all of these, that is the right answer. Answer D, that is the right. Now next question, that is the degradative processes are categorized under the heading of. So mostly that metabolic process, it may be a synthesis of any molecule or breakdown of molecule or formation of any important molecules. So that is categorized either anabolism, catabolism, metabolism, or none of the above. Simple, there is a degradation means catabolism, formation means anabolism, including of both these combinedly called a metabolism. So that is right answer, that is catabolism. B, catabolism is the right answer. Now multi-drug resistance is related to the which protein? Now most of the time this protein that is working as a carrier molecule, so it is present over the cell surface. So this carrier molecule defect that can lead to the some particular disease. So it may be ABCA1, ABCB4, ABCC2, ATP7B. Now here that ABC, that is ATP binding cassette. So which particular protein is related for this multi-drug resistance? So right answer, that is ABCB4, that at present you have to remember. Also you have to remember ABC means ATP binding cassette, that A1, B4, C2, 7B, that is particular name given for this ATP binding cassette. It is mostly spanning across the cell membrane and helping for transportation of particular molecule. If that particular protein is not working, then transport system will be affected and ultimately different kind of disease can happen. So right answer is ABCB4. But you can also remember ABCA1 defective, that can lead to the Tangier disease, that is related to the transportation of particular cholesterol, particular HDL cholesterol. ABCB4, that is multi-drug resistance. ABCC2, that is related with the Dubin-Johnson syndrome. It is included one of the congenital jaundice. One more, that is ATP7B. It is related with the copper metabolism and that can lead to the Wilson's disease. That is most important, or you have to remember ABCB4 for the multi-drug resistance. Next question, that is about which one is the heaviest particulates component of the cell. So whether it is nucleus, mitochondria, cytoplasm, or Golgi apparatus. So simple, that nucleus, that is the heaviest particulate. Some of the time nucleus can cover whole the cell, or it is just a trace of cytoplasm is seen. So mostly nucleus that is considered the heaviest particulate. As far as sedimentation rate also, it is considered as the heaviest particulate component of the cell. So right answer is A, nucleus. Next, all of the following activities are taking place inside mitochondria except, so TCA cycle, ETC, glycolysis, beta oxidation of fatty acid. So inside the mitochondria, TCA cycle is working basically in the matrix of mitochondria. Over the inner membrane of mitochondria, electron transport chain is working. Glycolysis is not working inside the mitochondria. Beta oxidation of fatty acid, that is also occurring inside the mitochondria. So only right answer, that is C, glycolysis. Next, that is all the following processes occur rapidly in the membrane lipid bilayer except, so flexing of fatty acid chains. Okay, the extension and flexion of this particular fatty acid chain in the cell membrane, that is occurring. Lateral diffusion of phospholipid, that is also occurring in the cell membrane. Trans bilayer diffusion of the phospholipid. So trans bilayer, so it is not across the this bilayer, there is a two lipid bilayer is there, but it cannot cross that inner to outer or outer to inner leaflet. That is not possible. So that is not possible. One more, that is rotation of phospholipid around their long axis. Over the long axis it is rotating, so it is rotating over the long axis, so that is also right. So only exception, that is trans bilayer diffusion of the phospholipid. So right answer is a C, that is not possible over the cell membrane. Further, which of the following phospholipid is localized to a greater extent in the outer leaflet of the membrane lipid bilayer? So simple cell membrane bilayer, which particular phospholipid is present? So whether it is choline phosphoglyceride, ethanolamine phosphoglyceride, inositol phosphoglyceride, or serine phosphoglyceride, you have to remember over the outer leaflet, that are lipid bilayer, over the outer leaflet choline phosphoglyceride is present, while over the inner leaflet, means cytoplasmic side, ethanolamine and serine is present. Inositol phosphoglyceride, you can remember that IP3, that is inositol triphosphate, that is generally formed as a second messenger, but that is also present over the inner side. So right answer is A, choline phosphoglyceride. Now one more question: in which organelle cholesterol ester that entered cell through the receptor mediated endocytosis to hydrolyze? So basically cholesterol ester is enter in which cell organelle? So whether it is endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, plasma membrane receptor, or mitochondria. So basically this cholesterol ester is metabolized with the help of lysosome. So that you have to remember, lysosome, that is basically utilized to hydrolyze this cholesterol ester. Further, free fatty acid, or you can say that non-estery fatty acid, is produced and secreted from which organ? So whether it is pancreas, adipose tissue, kidney, or muscles. So basically fatty acid is stored in the adipose tissue, and as per the need it is secreted from in the blood. So basically this free fatty acid is produced and secreted from the adipose tissue. So right answer is B, adipose tissue. Synthesis of prostaglandin is inhibited by, so aspirin, arsenic, fluoride, or cyanide. So these are the metal ions. Basically these are not utilized, these ions are not utilized to inhibit this prostaglandin synthesis. Aspirin, that is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, and it is utilized to inhibit particular cyclooxygenase to inhibit prostaglandin formation. So right answer is the A, aspirin. Further, one more, that is milk is deficient of which mineral? So you have to remember that milk is a very good food, or it is providing most of the nutrient, but milk is devoid of some particular molecules, and that you have to remember. So milk is deficient of which mineral? So phosphorus, sodium, iron, or potassium. So basically milk contains phosphorus, sodium, potassium, it is does not containing iron. So you have to remember iron is not present inside the milk, or milk is not a source of the iron. So milk is a very good food, but it is devoid of the mineral, particularly iron. So right answer is the C, iron. Next question, that is milk is deficient in which vitamin? So again that milk is a very good food, but it is containing most of the vitamins and most of the nutrients, but it is devoid of which particular vitamin? So whether it is vitamin C, vitamin A, B2, or vitamin K. So you have to remember that simple vitamin C is not present in the milk. Most of the vitamins present in the milk, but vitamin C is generally not present in the milk. So vitamin C, simply you can remember that vitamin C present in the citrus fruit. So citrus fruit, they are the also they have particular characteristic. So milk is particular devoid of the vitamin C. Also you can remember vitamin B12, we can get B12 from the curd but not from the milk. So that is the right answer, that vitamin C is not present in the milk. So that's all about the all MCQ we have discussed here. Hope it all will be helpful to you. So that's all about for your NEET preparation.